wisdom, live in truth.
May all people live in truth, live in wisdom, live in truth.
May all people live in truth, live in wisdom, live in truth.
May all people live in truth, live in wisdom, live in truth.
May all people live in love, live in kindness, live in love.
May all people live in love, live in kindness, live in love.
May all people live in love, live in kindness, live in love.
May all people live in love, live in kindness, live in love.
Violence and war shall be no more. Violence and war shall be no more.
Violence and war shall be no more. Violence and war shall be no more.
Violence and war shall be no more. Violence and war shall be no more.
Violence and war shall be no more. Violence and war shall be no more.
Violence and war shall be no more. Violence and war shall be no more.
Violence and war shall be no more. Violence and war shall be no more.
Justice and peace lighten our way.
Justice and peace lighten our way.
Wisdom and truth lighten our way.
Wisdom and truth lighten our way.
Kindness and love lighten our way.
Kindness and love lighten our way.
Spirit, oh Spirit, 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 lighten our way.
Justice and peace lighten our way.
Justice and peace lighten our way.
Wisdom and truth lighten our way.
Wisdom and truth lighten our way.
Kindness and love lighten our way.
Kindness and love lighten our way.
Spirit, oh Spirit, 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 lighten our way.
Justice and peace lighten our way.
Justice and peace lighten our way.
Wisdom and truth lighten our way.
Wisdom and truth lighten our way.
Kindness and love lighten our way.
Kindness and love lighten our way.
Spirit, oh Spirit, 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 lighten our way.
Justice and peace lighten our way.
Justice and peace oh Spirit, lighten our way.
Spirit, 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 oh Spirit, lighten our way.
Spirit of peace.
Spirit
a reading from the Gospel of Luke. It's the reading that this Sunday will be read in many churches all over the world as part of the lectionary. And it's in 3 moments. So I thought we would just share the reading. If you need your glasses, that would be a good time to get them. Got your glasses, okay. The print is a little small, so if I stumble, you'll understand. Luke chapter 6. One Sabbath, Jesus was walking through the grain fields, and his students were picking heads of grain, rubbing them with their hands and eating them. Some of the Pharisees, who happened to be there, did feel like the Pharisees are kind of like Snidely Whiplash, and always watching Dudley Do-Right, seeing what they could criticize, because that's what they did a lot of, apparently. And they said, the Pharisees, "Why are you doing this? This is prohibited to do on the Sabbath," thinking of the work restriction. Keep the Sabbath holy, no work. Okay. Jesus' response was, keep in mind these Pharisees they prided themselves on knowing their Bibles, right? Jesus says to them, "Haven't you read what David did when he and his troops were hungry? How he entered the house of God and took the consecrated bread and ate it and gave the rest to the others. These very loaves which the priests only are allowed to eat." And then Jesus said to them something very shocking. He said, "I am Lord of the Sabbath." So, next few verses, if you would, Barb. Starting on a different Sabbath.
Okay.
Got it.
On a different Sabbath, Jesus came to teach in a synagogue where there was a person with a withered right hand. The religious scholars and Pharisees were looking for a reason to accuse Jesus, so they watched him closely to see if he would heal on the Sabbath. But Jesus knew their thoughts and said to the person with the withered hand, "Get up and stand here in front." So the afflicted one got up and stood in front of everyone. Jesus said to the others, "I ask you, is it lawful on the Sabbath to do good or evil, to preserve life or to destroy it?" He looked around at them all, then said to the one with the infirmity, "Stretch out your hand." The other did so, and the hand was perfectly restored. At this, they were furious and began to discuss with one another what they could do to Jesus.
It was about this time that Jesus went out to the mountains to pray, spending the night in communion with God. At daybreak, he summoned the disciples and picked out 12 of them, whom he named as apostles: Simon, to whom he gave the name Peter, and his brother Andrew, James and John, Philip and Bartholomew, Matthew and Thomas, James ben Alphaeus, and Simon, who was called the Zealot, Judas ben James, and Judas Iscariot, who became a traitor. Coming down the mountain
Why
with
don't
them.
you let Michael read that?
Oh,
Have your glasses,
sorry.
Mike? Next chunk, if you would.
Coming down the mountain with them, Jesus stopped in a level area where there were a great number of disciples. A large crowd of people was with them from Jerusalem and all over Judea, as to far north as the coastal region of Tyre and Sidon. People who had come to hear Jesus and be healed of their diseases and even to be freed from unclean spirits. Indeed, the whole crowd was trying to touch Jesus because power was coming out of him and healing them all.
Thank you. There's a lot in these stories, this teaching, this encounter with Jesus. Anything come to mind right away that strikes you? Anything at all?
It's all about healing. And Luke was the doctor, I believe.
I just find it rather incredulous that they watch him heal a withered hand, and their reaction is to get furious.
Yeah, right.
You know, I mean, like, what more do you want?
Yeah. I think the expression was, even if someone were to be raised from the dead, they still wouldn't believe. Right. Any other thoughts? So there's like 4 moments, you could say. The first one is when Jesus is walking with his students outdoors through a field, and they're hungry. So they eat. And natural thing to do. But the gatekeepers, those that think they know, immediately criticize Jesus. And his response to them was stunning. It's not about the rules, it's not about what you think, it's not about your philosophy, your practices, or anything like that. Jesus said, it's about me. It's like, my God, how arrogant, egocentric can you get? If you want to follow what's good and right and true, follow me. Because I'm Lord of the Sabbath. Whatever system, philosophy you think you're part of, if you keep me out of it, it's not going to work, basically. I'm the one, the source. So that's the first moment. Got people really upset because they like their system. You know, they control it. But Jesus comes along and says, no. So the second moment is in the synagogue, I believe, and there's someone there with a withered hand. And once again, you know, the system, the philosophy, the teaching would say, wait for another day before you do something. Don't act now. Don't heal, don't work, don't do anything. It's the Sabbath. That's the rule. Okay. And they're focused on their philosophy, their teaching, their favorite teachers maybe. And Jesus shows up and he says, no, it's about me. Okay? I'm going to heal this person because that's what I do. The source of healing is me. here I go. And he does it. And their response is furious. They get all upset. Because somehow, in trying to keep him out, and him basically standing there and demonstrating that he's the one, the source of healing, this just blew their philosophy and their practice all the way. They couldn't handle it. So that's the second moment. The third moment, refresh my memory, what's the third moment after the synagogue? Oh, does he go to pray?
Takes the disciples up.
Right, takes them up and he prays and he anoints them, designates them to be his representatives, basically. Not to do their own thing, not to practice the latest theology, philosophy, teaching, whatever, but to represent him. Remember, he sends them out 2 by 2 at one point. He says, go, heal, preach, teach the gospel, the good news. The Messiah is here. And he's healing. Follow Jesus. That was the message. So he appoints them, he anoints them, and sends them out. But once again, the focus is on him. Okay. Nothing else. The last moment, what's the last moment? Do you remember?
I didn't know.
That's okay. So the last moment, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, is he goes down from the mountain and encounters crowds and crowds of people, right? And he does what he does. He teaches. It's his teaching. He heals. The source of healing is him. It's amazing, this whole string of, could call them pericopes, I think the term is. Little scenarios, little vignettes, but each one is linked to the other, and the focus is him. The focus is Jesus. We'll close with the song. close of this day, we give you thanks for your great love that envelops the world. May our eyes be opened, our ears be opened, our hearts be opened to the love of God in Jesus the Christ. May it be so.